Hello, ladies and gentlemen, craft spirit enthusiasts, and those interested in the intoxicating world of craft distilleries, cideries, meaderies, wineries, and the occasional foray into breweries. It's Rich Shane, and welcome to Fermented Adventure, the podcast, where we bring you the fascinating people that are making the mash, fermenting, distilling, bottling, pouring, and delivering to you some of the finest libations in the world. Before we get started, here are a few housekeeping items. Thank you for bringing the podcast into wherever you are and whatever you're doing. We truly are grateful that you have chosen to listen and make us part of your day. It would mean the world to us if you left a 5-star review. This helps us climb in the rankings, and it makes it easier for others to find us. Don't hesitate to leave us your comments as well. If the podcast didn't meet your expectations, tell us why. We're always striving to improve. You can find us at fermentedadventure.com. We are on Instagram and Facebook as Fermented Adventure. Email us at fermentedadventure@gmail.com. All right, FA Nation, let's meet our guests. Today, we're diving into the rich legacy of Scotch whiskey and celebrating the cultural significance of Scotland's beloved Burns Night. Along the way, we'll spotlight one of Scotland's most renowned independent whiskey blenders, Douglas Laing Company. So pour yourself a dram or a cup of tea if it's dry January for you, and settle in as we explore this truly unique corner of Scottish heritage. First, let's talk about Douglas Laing Company, the name that has become synonymous with exceptional Scotch whiskey. This family-owned business was founded in 1948 by Fred Douglas Laing in Glasgow. From the beginning, Douglas Laing aimed to create exceptional small batch blended whiskeys, focusing on quality over quantity. Over the years, the company became known for its skillful blending of single malt and single grain whiskeys to craft some truly remarkable expressions. Douglas Laing has remained a family-owned business for 3 generations. Today, it is run by Fred Laing Jr., who continues his father's legacy with the help of his daughter, Cara. Their mission is to showcase the regional diversity of Scotch whiskey while keeping the blending traditions alive. They're particularly known for their regional malt whiskies, which celebrate the distinct flavors of Scotland's whiskey-producing regions. Now let's get into the whiskeys themselves. Douglas Laing's portfolio includes several standout ranges, each with its own unique character. Here are a few you may have heard of or need to try if you haven't already. Big Peat, a powerful smoky blend from Islay, featuring whiskeys from distilleries like Ardbeg, Bowmore, and Cúl Ila. It's a favorite among peat lovers. Scallywag. This one pays homage to Speyside, offering a rich sherry profile with notes of dark chocolate, dried fruit, and spice. Timoris Beastie, a tribute to the Highland region. This whiskey is lighter and sweeter with notes of honey, citrus, and vanilla. The Epicurean. Representing the lowlands, it's bright and zesty, perfect for sipping neat or in cocktails. Rock Island, a maritime-inspired blend highlighting the coastal distilleries of Jura, Arran, Orkney, and Islay. Douglas Laing is also known for its remarkable regional malt series, which brings together the essence of each whiskey region in a single bottle. Now that we've covered Douglas Laing, let's turn to a cultural event that goes hand in hand with Scotch whiskey. Burns Night, or Bobby Burns Night, celebrated on January 25th each year. Burns Night honors the life and works of Scotland's national poet, Robert Burns. Born in 1759, Burns is revered for his poetry and songs, which often celebrated the beauty of Scotland and the lives of ordinary people. Burns Night gatherings, or Burns suppers, date back to the early 19th century and typically include traditional food, drink, and poetry readings. Here's how a typical Burns supper unfolds. The meal. The star of the show is the haggis, a savory pudding made with sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, mixed with oats and spices. It's served with neeps and tatties, that's mashed turnips and potatoes. The drink. No Burns supper is complete without Scotch whiskey. It's sipped throughout the evening and used to toast the haggis, the poet, and the guests. The ceremony. The evening usually begins with a bagpiper leading the haggis to the table, followed by a recitation of Burns's famous poem, Address to a Haggis. Guests also take turns reciting other Burns poems or singing traditional Scottish songs. The toast. A key part of the evening is the toast to the lassies and the reply to the toast to the lassies, often filled with good-natured humor. So where does Douglas Laing come into play? Their whiskeys are a perfect choice for a burn supper. Imagine starting the evening with the light and citrusy notes of the Epicurean, then moving to the rich sherry depths of Scallywag alongside your haggis, and finishing with the smoky embrace of Big Peat. It's a journey through Scotland in a single meal. And that's where we're going to land with the Big Peat. On the box for the bottle, Big Peat outlines this wonderful description of what this is all about. A remarkable marriage of single cask, single malts, only from Islay. This container in my hand carries a big, sooty, beachy, oceanic, and seriously phenolic selection of malts distilled only in Scotland's whiskey island of Islay, from where the Douglas Laing family directors hail. Islay's distilleries are renowned for their predominantly peaty, smoky character, all offering variations on the theme of ash, beach bonfires, coal dust, and tar. Big Peat, our characterful Islay fisherman, encapsulates that feisty elements of sweetness, Bowmore, a maritime character, Ardbeg, an earthy gristmill quality, and Port Ellen, a certain leathery elegance. In true Douglas Laing and traditional style, he is bottled at 46% alcohol strength and is proudly offered without coloring or chilled filtration, allowing the naturally oily character of the spirit to reign supreme. This is a dram that's particularly appreciated when consumed in a leisurely manner. The way in which these malts have waited for you in cold, dark, and windswept warehouses of that magical, mystical island of Islay. Pardon the interruption. Thank you so much for listening to Fermented Adventure the podcast. Could you do us a favor? Hit that follow button. It makes it easier for others to find us, and it helps us climb in the rankings. Take a screenshot of the podcast, post it, tag us, and let everyone know that you listen to the Fermented Adventure podcast. Now, back to our podcast. So this is one I'm enjoying this evening, this Big Peat. The nose is sweet, clover, honey, campfire, tobacco. The taste is honey, pepper, licorice. It's smoky, it's deep peat, it is tar, burnt toast, and it's grassy. Both Douglas Laing and Robert Burns represent the spirit of Scotland, its passion, creativity, and love for good company. Burns captured Scotland's heart in words, while Douglas Laing does it in whiskey. Together, they remind us of the importance of tradition, storytelling, and celebration. If you've been inspired to explore the whiskeys of Douglas Laing or host your own Burns supper, this is the perfect time to do it. Whether you're toasting the haggis or simply sipping a dram by the fire, remember to raise your glass to Scotland's rich heritage. And I'm pretty sure the Whip Tavern will be having an amazing Burns supper if you still want to check them out. Thanks for joining me today on this journey through Scotland's whiskey and culture. Don't forget to check out our past episode with the Pathfinder, which is episode 194, if you're interested in exploring non-alcoholic spirits. And as always, please drink responsibly. So, here's a toast to the lassies.